Welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who ran a 10-mile round trip to buy a used DVD of Anaconda, Jay Clutt.
Hi, Mark. And this Saturday, I'll be running a round trip 10 miles to return a 40 used DVD of Anaconda, because it did not work.
Oh my gosh! So
I had to stream it.
I want you to know that your effort has bought you a lifetime pass on Movies, Films, and Flicks.
Thank you.
I will keep this podcast going for as long as you want to keep recording, just because you did that. So,
Nice.
Whenever you want to record, you have a lifetime pass now. You've earned it.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to get in shape this year, and part of my routine. People always say, diet and exercise, that's how you get fitter, and that makes sense. But the Movies, Films, and Flicks podcast is an integral part of my health regime. During that run, I was listening to your last episode.
Nice. Which one was that? Demon Knight?
No, it was. This is. It was the one. God, this is bad.
The football draft?
Yes, it was football draft, and then after that one, you've done one since then.
Oh goodness. Oh, Phantom.
Yes, yeah, that's the one, football draft, and then the Phantom I listened to going for a run yesterday morning.
Nice.
So,
Yep.
see, I run listening to you, Mark.
Yeah, see, you got a lifetime pass. I'm telling you. I will keep this thing going.
I'll keep on coming back.
All right.
As long as there's aquatic-based horror films to talk about, I'll keep on coming.
And so we're continuing our saga here. We started with Deep Blue Sea. Now we're on this. Then we have Lake Placid. Then we have Piranha 3D. Then we have Swim Fan.
Yep, our soggy saga continues.
Soggy saga. Oh, that makes me so happy. Now I got to tell you about, we're talking about staying in shape. I hope that I look like John Voight in Anaconda when I'm John Voight's age when he made this movie. Because
I hope I never look like John Voight in this
No,
film.
but he's intimidating in this film, and he's in his 50s. You look at him and you're kind of like, this guy, John Voight's got it in this movie.
I mean,
Paul Cerrone he's a man amongst men.
He has a presence, I'll give you that. But I wouldn't say it's a positive one. It's a memorable one. It stays with you. It's intimidating is the right word to use, but it's not one I wish to imitate.
I love this role because we were talking about this earlier. He made decisions, Jay. He made.
Shouldn't have. Someone should have said, back it up a little bit, John. What accent are you doing exactly?
Because he's from Paraguay.
Apparently.
But he's not. But there's a Creole in there. It really changes.
I mean, the previous year he'd worked with Jean Reno on Mission Impossible, and I don't know if he just kind of folded some of that in there.
Wow.
Got a little bit of French going on, but then Jean Reno himself is originally Spanish with a French accent. So, and maybe he spent some time with Danny Trejo, who is dubbed over in this.
Yeah, that was
with
weird.
Some other accent. He's like a mixture of every other accent in the film. You take every other accent, all their natural accents, and just merge them together. You kind of get Paraguay-ish.
It's perfect.
It's a decision.
Yeah. But that's why this movie, I feel, holds up. Because I watched this again, and I had the biggest smile on my face. There's a scene where a 40-foot anaconda barfs a monkey. There's a scene where...
On to Jonathan Hyde.
The greatest look of all time when John Voight is staring at J-Lo. This movie also has a cat. Oh, wait, I got to ask you a question, Jay.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Gary, the sound guy's heel turn?
Owen Wilson.
I love they keep calling him Gary. Where's Gary?
Well, it's an Owen Wilson film from the 90s, so he dies in it. You know, going in, he's going to die.
Yeah, Armageddon, those kind of
Armageddon, The Haunting.
Yeah.
There's a fourth one, and he was supposed to be in Rushmore, but was cut out and is just a dead character in Rushmore. I can't remember what the
and
fifth one
his
is.
brother gets the best role in Rushmore with the OR scrubs.
Oh, are they? Yes. I was thinking about that the other day. I only must find out what the other film is where he died. It's not Cable Guy. No.
All right. Well,
we'll skip that.
That's the mystery of John Voight's act. It's another mystery we have going on for this episode. But his heel turn, man. I'm starting to sound like Owen Wilson. Whoa.
Wow.
Wow. That's what it is.
Wow.
He went from. Well, he was never a good sound man. When they went out to get sound at night with Carrie, they were gonna
talking the whole time.
Exactly. All the sound he gets is wasted. He is not. So I've worked on reality shows, and I've worked on reality shows in the Everglades, out in the middle of nowhere. And the sound people I'm going off on another tangent, but I worked in film for years, and so watching this film crew with the sound packages, where's the film? Where are the different lenses for this camera? How is she directing? Where are the production assistants? Where's the security? Where's the medic? There's no medic.
I was going to ask, how does it compare to films that you've been on? But like, there can't be a medic because John Voight has to do that emergency tracheotomy, and if there was a medic there, then they would have done that.
I was on, whatever reality show I've ever worked on, there's been medic. Every single one. You don't go shoot these things. And then Eric Stoltz. He's a jerk in this movie. I don't remember him. He's such a jerk. I didn't feel bad for him when Cerrone's like, I hate this guy, Cerrone. But no, all right. So regular, I can say that this is just a movie. So I don't care when The Rock doesn't get a cut when he falls 200 yards onto the ground. But it's very hard for me in tennis movies, because I play tennis, and movies about making movies that I have to fight to not be bothered by them. Like, I love Bowfinger because of how absurd it is. And so they're not taking it seriously. But on all these different film sets, there's always these people yelling cut and rolling, but that's not really how, sound speeds. How is a sound guy? They're not even slating. There's no slating.
It's like a lawyer watching anything where I object.
Yeah.
Just the kind of the stereotypical things they shout in films.
And Primal Fear,
I use an example
Linney...
that's not my own, because there's no engineering films, so that would be my go-to. No one's using a self-tapping screw, and if you're using a machine bolt, I don't care. So that doesn't happen.
Yeah, what was it? Primal Fear, when Laura Linney's just screaming at Edward Norton? And you're like, I'm pretty sure law doesn't work. But so no one's slating. There's no slate to sync the sound with the camera. There's no.
We're skipping over. Why is Jonathan Hyde even there?
Yeah.
Why is this? He's playing the David Attenborough character.
And why did he bring wine and champagne bottles and golf clubs?
He's on this. It's this tiny little raft that's housing 8 people.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 7, but 8 people, and supposedly there are sleeping quarters for all of them. Or maybe they share, they bunk up or something. But where is all this stuff? Why? How has he got so much stuff with him? But he shouldn't be there. David Attenborough doesn't go to all of the places. He records a lot of the dialogue afterwards. He goes to some of them, sure, but I reckon if there's a mosquito-ridden raft heading down a river in Brazil, he's probably not going to go to that one. And that's B-unit stuff.
That makes it more about him, then. Is this he's the on-camera talent for this one?
Yeah.
Attenborough never did that. So he's not even.
There's a few, but not in this scenario.
Is he trying to be like a Michael Moore type? But he's not hunting people down.
Is he trying to be Steve Irwin?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get. So it's weird that in a movie where John Voight gets barfed and then he winks, that I don't care about that, but I cared about no one slating sound.
Does he wink? He's only got one eye at that point. It could well be a blink. It seems like a wink.
Listen,
it's one of the most famous winks in cinema. I really hope it's a wink, but
Jay, he winks.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. I can't guarantee it, but I guarantee it.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I don't want to think otherwise. That would really change my life. That would lead me into a Eyes Wide Shut scenario, where Tom Cruise. You know what, Tom Cruise is walking through the city streets and Eyes Wide Shut, just looking depressed and angry. That's what. But I wouldn't engage in the weird stuff he does just because John Voight doesn't wink. But still, I hope not. But this movie, man, I have to say, Jennifer Lopez is not a good director in this, and the production manager is not, because they're making fresh salads in the Amazon. They're bringing lettuce.
Are they making it from the Amazon?
Yeah, what?
They're floating past the tree and just grabbing some leaves off of it. But it's supposed to be Jennifer Lopez's first film as a director. She's fresh out of film school or something. Yeah. I can cut her some slack for not being a good director, because this is her first time.
Oh, you're right.
And she only really got picked for the job because she's in a relationship with Eric Stoltz.
Oh, you make a good point there. And I guess she wouldn't know too much. She came from LA, so she probably directed some good stuff there. But I think that's on her production manager, played by Carrie Warrer. I think she really lets them down, because she's bringing fresh produce on the Amazon.
Yeah, fresh salad, which presumably there's a fridge on board.
And you're not. How are you going to wash those dishes?
In the water with the urethra catfish.
Yeah, there would be. So they don't have any water on board either that you see. So they would have to have a lot of fresh water. Now I could see them making a ramen or something like that with not MRE packets, but yeah, or just food that wouldn't go bad, because travel on the Amazon is not easy. And there's a scene in the beginning where Eric Stoltz, he's like, oh, it's only 55 kilometers. Oh, he goes, oh, it's only 55 kilometers out of the way. No big deal. He's like, better be safe. And I'm like, travel on the Amazon is slow. And 55
you're not
kilometers?
going quick. Like, you don't want to go quick.
I know that's probably what, like 20, no, wait, so like I don't know, like 30 miles? Yeah.
Yeah, 35-ish, yeah.
Like, that's a lot. And when you're talking about driving on, like, twisty roads and watching out for trees, like, that's a day's journey. And he's like, that's fine. But a day's journey is an extra day of wages and missed flights. I'm getting too into this production thing here. And that's not what this movie's about, but
I feel like it should be.
I was like, this documentary is going to be terrible.
The fact that they make it, like, when Eric Stoltz gets fridged with the poison wasp in his mouth, and they decide to instead, let's try and film John Voight catching an anaconda. Whenever they do anything, they're not filming it.
Never filming.
Filming it.
Or sound. There's no sound.
Well, once Owen Wilson dies, there's no way of having sound.
Yeah, it's true. Gary.
But when they get to Danny Trejo's boat and John Voight, Mateo, and Ice Cube head over to it, Ice Cube takes the camera, doesn't bring it back.
Yeah.
So they can't film anything at that point. Just left it on his boat.
Yeah, and then like he goes, yeah, he puts it into a metal crate. He's like, watch out, I got my camera in there. And I'm like, wait, what? Oh, wait, so did John Voight want to kill Stoltz in this movie?
I don't know what John Voight's plan is at all. This is where the whole thing falls down. You talk about, like, it's, the rock doesn't get damaged when he falls down a hill or anything. You still need a kind of plot that makes sense. And I don't get what John Voight's overall plan is. So I don't think he wants to kill Stoltz. I think he wanted to injure whoever was going to go down and free the boat propeller from the rope, and it just happened to be Stoltz. So fine. It's lucky because they were the two that were having masculinity contests over who had the biggest dick.
Yeah, they were. That was so uncomfortable.
It was. So it just happened to be like fortuitous that it was Stoltz. I think he just wanted to injure him to then give them a reason to take the alternate route to go to the hospital, which is into Anaconda country. But I don't know why he needed to do that anyway, because it's clear that the boat they're on is Mateo's boat.
Mateo would do it.
So Mateo and Voight are in coats with Trejo. I don't know if they know Trejo is dead at the start or not. I don't know. He kills himself in the opening scene. But they don't need this other boat because they have Mateo's boat. So they can just take Mateo's boat, go to Trejo's boat, get the weapons, go to the Anaconda, kill it themselves. Why do they need these 7 other people unless it's bait?
But he uses a monkey for bait.
He uses a monkey as bait. Why doesn't he use a monkey as bait? They have a whole dead wild boar.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Unless my only potential theory is the Anaconda Muslim, so it doesn't eat pork.
Oh,
that's the only thing I can think of as to why they couldn't use it. And somehow John Voight knows this.
Yeah, because they don't. So when he said snakes don't kill people, then he said they don't. The snake didn't really kill him. So how did he get that scar on his face?
It attacked. He did it himself for a story. I don't know. You can't trust this guy. He's just, maybe a snake tried to kill him and he killed the snake.
Why is Danny Trejo out there by himself if they want to capture it alive? Wait, how did he get out there if that barrier wasn't blown up?
Wasn't the barrier after his boat?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
why would you blow up the barrier?
Well, do we see that it's actually an anaconda that's attacking Trejo?
I mean,
is it not John Voight?
Wait, but John Voight. So John Voight can turn So remember in the Deepest Bluest video where LL Cool J can turn into a shark?
How could I forget?
Do you think John Voight? So this is another interesting thing about this movie. John Voight was in the priesthood, and then he starts hunting snakes, which we know, in the Garden of Eden, that, the snake tempted Adam and Eve. So we've talked about Deep Blue Sea and then this movie with 2 preachers.
And how does the snake get killed in the end? Ice Cube kills it with a pickaxe. What shape is a pickaxe?
Oh,
that's a cross.
I like Ice Cube in this movie, though. He's only. Great. I love the scene where he's like, "I'm gonna throw you guys both off the boat." Like he knows what's going on. I hate the line.
Kill you right now.
Yeah, I hate that line. He's like, "I'm going back to L.A." Like that's a stock line because he just walks back into the boat. But I liked him in this movie, man. He was. I liked J-Lo in this movie too. I liked.
Oh yeah, She's never been terrible that I've seen. She's been in some bad films. I would chalk this amongst them. But like, she's not a bad actress. She's very good in Out of Sight. I've not seen her I've not seen a lot of the more poorly rated things, but she's fine in the opening scene of Jersey Girl. That I recall. I never saw Gigli. So.
Selena, she's good in. Yeah, Gigli was really bad. But this